Every hour in Prague, people stop in the middle of the street, look up, and wait for a skeleton to ring a bell. Not at Halloween, not at a museum performance. Every single day, hundreds gather beneath this medieval clock, watching death pull a cord, as if it's announcing something. And for centuries, people believed this clock was cursed, because according to legend, the man who built it was punished for making it. This clock did not simply tell time, it distorted it, not by accident, not by failure, but by design. Every single day, it drifted further from reality, and yet, it was still used by entire communities, by people who knew exactly what it was doing.
Installed in 1410, over 600 years ago, this clock doesn't track one time. It tracks several. Sun time, moon time, old time, astronomical time, and something medieval thinkers believed was cosmic time. This machine wasn't built to tell people what time it was. It was built to explain where humanity stood inside the cosmos, which makes one question impossible to ignore. How did anyone build something this complex in the 1400s? Then comes the part everyone waits for. The hour strikes. The windows open. Small carved figures begin to move. The apostles pass one by one. Statues turn. Mechanisms click into motion. And beside them, a skeleton. Thin. Grinning. Ringing a bell. A medieval reminder that time ends for everyone. Even kings. Even priests. Even the people standing below watching. Which is exactly why people once found it unsettling. Beautiful, but unsettling. Like the machine knew something they didn't. But the darkest story surrounding the clock is about its maker. For generations, one legend refused to die. It says the craftsman behind the clock created something so extraordinary. The city feared he might build another one somewhere else. And they didn't want another one. They wanted this clock to remain unmatched forever. So he was blinded, deliberately, his sight taken from him, so no rival city could ever own his genius. Then the legend turns darker. It says he climbed the tower one last time, reached into the machinery, and damaged the mechanism himself, bringing the clock to a halt. His final revenge. If he could never build again, then neither would the clock tick again. There's only one problem. Historians aren't sure any of that actually happened. The blinding story may be myth, built over centuries, retold until it became inseparable from the clock itself. And that somehow makes it even more fascinating. Because now, the clock exists in two worlds at once. One of engineering, and one of legend. Part machine, part myth, and no one can fully separate them anymore. Maybe that's why it still stops people. Not because it's old, not even because it's beautiful, but because it still creates the exact same reaction it created hundreds of years ago. People freeze. Crowds gather. Faces lift toward the tower. Conversations stop mid-sentence. Phones come out. Then, silence. Everyone waiting for movement. Waiting for the bell. Waiting for the figures to appear. Waiting for time itself to perform. Most clocks disappear into the background of our lives. We glance at them and move on. But not this one. This one makes people stop. And for over 6 centuries, that has never changed. Empires rose. Empires fell. Wars came and went. Generations vanished. And still, every hour, in the center of Prague, people gather beneath an ancient machine and wait for a skeleton to ring a bell, as if for one brief moment, time itself has become theater.
Because if a machine built in 1410
can still stop an entire city today, then the question is no longer about the clock. The question is, what else in our lives are we still obeying without questioning why? And even more unsettling, How many of those things do we mistake for normal? Drop your thoughts, and if speculative, anomalies and reality fractures are your thing. This channel is a keeper.